Hello everyone, welcome to NGRMarathon Next Gen Runners 2017. My name is Narchitect. I will be your host and manager for this evening. We're gonna go ahead and get started with Super Mario Galaxy Any Percent Luigi by OfficialArtemis64. Just a reminder, this is a benefit to American Foundations for Suicide Prevention. Links and commands are in the chat. Also ask a mod if you need any help or assistance with that. That being said, give us just a few minutes here and we're going to get started with our first run.
I mean, it's taking up like...
Phone call to make sure family don't disturb. I'll be right back.
Sounds good. Alright, so... Hi. I will be doing the thing with the game. Alright, start whenever. Alright. I have absolutely nothing to preface this run with, just that I hope I don't fail. Oh, we're all ready? I'm told that I am. Alright, so let me just get my splits ready up here. Alright, I am ready, so if I can count down, then I shall. So, 3, 2, 1, go. Hopefully that's good enough.
Alrighty.
So hopefully that beginning went well. So now I get to play the game.
Yep, good luck, man.
Thank you. So, how are you this morning?
Well, I mean, not too bad, I guess. A bit tired, but...
Tired. Makes sense.
Yeah. I'm in England, so I have to constantly stay up and stuff like that. Just so I can fit, you know, in the time zones.
Yeah, I'm sure that gets troublesome at times, yeah. I used to do that when I had more friends that were like in Australia and Europe in general. It was...
Oh, yeah.
It was not fun, but now my schedule's like that already, so...
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, boy. So, I know nothing about this game, so... I mean...
So... We start the run off with the worst thing that could possibly exist. Bunnies.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So yeah, you just start off with some friendly bunny catching.
Oh, man.
That I'm
fun.
not doing very well at right now. Alright, that was... like 20 seconds slower than it should have been. Hi Rez, thank you. Thank you X-Force. Thank you everybody in chat for the good luck.
I should mute my phone.
I should do that too. Why not?
Yeah, alright.
Oh, it's already muted. We're good.
Okay, good.
I was definitely set for that. Alright, so if you know nothing, like, have you played the game at some point, or do you...
I've definitely played this game many times, so just know nothing about speedrunning.
Alright. Well,
Ignoring card
it's
text.
basically just
Not doing
long
it.
jumps.
If you
Long jumps, got it.
Yep. As long as you got that, you can speedrun this game. Maybe not extremely well, but it is something.
Is there any major skips in this game that can save a lot of time, or is
Major
it just
skip.
movement-based?
There's a couple. Or
Alright,
maybe not a couple, but there's at least one that I can think of off the top of my head. And that's kind of towards the beginning of a run. You kind of like climb up on the tree and jump to another tree. It's... I mean, that's about all the skip is. Oh, nice.
okay.
So, yeah. It's super fun. Just jump from tree to tree.
Oh, mine definitely sounds fun.
I gotta unplug my drive so it doesn't constantly make Windows noises.
Oh man, I do love some Windows noise.
I totally didn't think about that. So I'm gonna have to unplug that during the first cutscene. Oops. Alright. So now we're to the first cutscene skip of the game. That I can think of, at least. And it's just by pressing A at a very specific time that I actually failed. So we're good.
Oh no.
This is a great beginning to an excellent marathon.
Yep.
I mean, I'm starting this out just like I thought I would. I'm playing to a very high standard. Oh my god. Alright, let's just hope that I don't play this way the entire run.
No pressure, no pressure.
No pressure, no, just, you know, almost 3 hours left. Alright, I got time. Unplug the drive.
Go for it.
And split. Okay. Drive is unplugged. No more Windows noises. We are good. Alright, so coming up here, I'm going to be going through a lot of story here that I won't be reading because I have to go fast. Very
Yeah, that's
fast.
the general motto of it. Just, go fast.
Yeah.
No story, no,
Yeah.
plot. Just go through
So that means we're missing most of the story, so I'm going to do my best to make up the story on the fly. By just kind of skimming the text, because somehow I don't have this memorized yet. So she travels the skies, and stops in front of this planet, and then her ship loses power from the power stars, and just kind of stays there and hibernates for a couple years. And then Bowser appears in the background, and then is evil.
And then it's evil.
Yep, that's all.
Alright, well there you go. That's the main plot of the story.
It's the plot of the story. Rosalina loses power stars, and then Bowser is in the background being evil. I mean, I'm fairly sure that's what she's saying. I mean, that's the general idea of every Mario game. Just,
Oh yeah.
you're there, and then Bowser's in the background being evil. So, in my opinion, the most important thing to know about running this game is don't forget that starbits exist. And that
Okay, and yeah, go on.
So, there are there are Lumas next to each of the domes, and they ask you for starbits, and you need to feed them to unlock their level or whatever, something like that. And there's 2 Lumas like that in this game in this run, that we will be using.
Okay.
And I have a tendency to not have enough starbits, which is
Okay.
embarrassing because that basically kills the run because the route gets completely messed up. So,
So, how long have you been running this game then?
I've been running since January, but very off and on. This will be my first complete run in like 3 months. So, oh, that's not good. So I'm not a very consistent runner, and the reason being is that I find this run kind of boring at times.
Well, yeah, it's pretty long. I could see how that could be a bit tedious.
Yeah, it's long, and there's a lot of cutscenes, and that's kind of what made me regret choosing this game to begin with. I mean, it's fun, and I've always enjoyed the game, and I love the music and everything, but I don't know. I still don't think I would have chosen a different game as a main one. Not that.
I mean, as long as you enjoy the game, that's all that really matters.
Yeah.
No point in running the game because, you know, the one is this or that. As long as you enjoyed the game, then, yeah.
Mhm. Alright, so that was our first boss. I don't even remember the name of that one. I think it's Dino Piranha.
Something
Yep,
like
Dino
that.
Piranha. It's the name of the star.
There you go.
If I'm just patient enough, we will learn the name of things. Names of things as we go on. Never too late for a D-Rust? That's true. Alright, so now we're going into Good Egg 2, which is basically proving my point that starbits are important.
Okay.
You go along some of the smaller planets within this galaxy, and you have to collect starbits. And then one of the planets has a hungry Luma. You feed him 100, and then that's required to continue on the level.
I see.
And I think that was kind of one of the interesting concepts that I liked about this game is that the collectibles are required to a point for 100%,
Yeah.
or like 120 stars, but like you can still complete the game without ever having to collect starbits besides like this level.
Okay.
Because in some games it's like, oh yeah, you can save up in-game currency to unlock better items. And in this game it's just more items, or more levels to play.
Yeah, so in a way, it basically makes you play the game to be able to play more of the game.
Yeah, exactly. And I believe in the 120 run, you still, like, even if you play through all of the levels, you still have to grind at the end of the run. Because you just don't get enough star bits.
Yeah.
Alright, I need that. So here's our friend Baluma. We're just feeding him because we like him a lot. That's it. I'm stuffed. Here we go. Transform!
Oh boy, I'm excited.
That's about the extent of Hungry Luma. He eats and then explodes and with snacky happiness and becomes a planet or a galaxy. We do what we can. I am offended. Nope, do not make that. Alright, so remember maybe like 10 minutes ago when I mentioned jumping from tree to tree to do a skip?
Indeed.
Yeah, we're here.
Oh boy, okay.
So this skips I think 2 planets.
So how much time does that actually save?
I believe it's approximately a minute.
Hey, that's pretty good.
That is, I think it's the most significant time save there is in this run. And even though it's the most significant, it's the one that people are like, oh, don't learn that, it's too hard. When people are like, hey, I want to learn this game, what do I do? Like, the general rules are, don't learn this skip, it's too hard.
It's already hard if you haven't practiced it enough.
That's true, yeah. And I learn things in really strange ways. At least in my opinion, like, I learned this star by watching, like, the IL world record for it.
Okay.
And that just was so clear to me. I was like, oh, that's what I do, okay. And then I just figured it out. Like, I think there's multiple tutorials and everything, and those didn't work, but just watching somebody do it really fast, you know, that worked.
So how does one, like, practice individual levels? Like, do you have, like, a save that you'd go to the planet? Do you have to, like, make a new save? Like, how does that work then?
So for individual levels, I believe the timing starts when you select the star on, like, the star select screen after you select the galaxy, and usually they're done on a fully completed save.
Okay, alright.
And since I'm not entirely sure about individual level times, I'm not sure if you're allowed to skip the cutscenes for after picking a star, but either way, you'd go on, click the star, and then just play through it.
So that was the skip right there.
Yep, that was.
About.
Yep, that was the.
How hard is that then?
It's probably one of the harder skips in the run, but I disagree. I don't know. A lot of people say it's the hardest, but I don't really find it too difficult.
Well, it's personal preference.
It is kind of an opinion, depending on, it's like, oh yeah, I can do this easy, but this one, ooh, that one's impossible. And I mean, it happens to everybody. Ooh. So right there, it was not significant whatsoever, but I got a first frame jump when I landed into the level. And the only thing that does is saves about a second. And that's just because it skips the little landing animation that he does, where he like holds up his arms and it was like, oh yeah, welcome to the galaxy.
Well, in runs, any bit of time save is good, even if it's just a frame.
No, it's a 1 frame trick, and then it saves about a second.
Yeah.
So, it's always good to go for, but you might not necessarily make it every time. So it's not something that's good to, like, bank on every time where it's like, oh yeah, if I just do this, I'll get world record. Because it's highly unlikely that you're gonna get that frame perfect trick in every galaxy. And that landing cancel is specifically only for entering the galaxy. Oops. That one's only for entering the galaxy, but for going from a launch star like to a different planet in that galaxy, what you do is you press the D-pad up and then D-pad down. So like you were going into first person. And for whatever reason, that completely cancels the landing animation. And that also saves about a second per launch star, so it's probably the easiest time save any new runner can get in on. Besides not dying, of course, that's the first strat.
Yeah.
Which I still have trouble with sometimes. Alright, so we're gonna get on here to the second boss of the game. I think his name is Bugaboo. He's this giant green bug thing. I don't know.
We'll see in a minute, won't we?
Yeah. He's basically a giant green version of the purple bugs we just fought on top of the tower. But this time he's just, I don't know. He's the king. He rules them all. I don't know.
Is that a new power up that you just got?
Yes, this is the B power-up, which you would normally get in Honey Hive 1, but since we did the Honey Hive 1 skip, which is the trees, we completely skipped getting the power-up. So this is the first time we get it. You just get a fly meter and are able to hover for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
And you're not able to do double jumps or triple jumps or anything like that. Oh, and you can't do long jumps. You can't do anything special with jumps. That's the best way to put it.
I see.
That is... I think that's going to be the power-up we see the most in this run, but don't quote me on that because I can't remember most of this run right now. I'm playing it as it comes.
Yeah.
Fun fact, this was the first level I ever played in this game.
How so?
So, like, you know when you go into some stores and they have, like, the console set up and inside the game and you can kind of try out the game for the first time because it's like, whoa, brand new. What?
Yeah.
I played this game inside of a Best Buy like 10 years ago. And for whatever reason, it really stuck with me.
Penguins.
Penguins indeed. That is our coach penguin. We love him. He coaches us how to ride this manta ray that I had little troubles getting through. His instructions were a little difficult.
A penguin is teaching you how to ride a manta ray.
Yep, the penguin's teaching us how to ride the manta ray in a galaxy in the sky with floating water. Yep. joke in my chat is Ray's surfing. So there's that streamer Ray's Fire, and at the time I used his emotes a lot. I don't use them as much anymore, but I still like them. And I thought of one that just Ray's surfing. It just seemed to make so much sense when you say it. So this, to me and people who watch me, it's just called Ray's surfing. Because you're also on a ray and you're surfing. There's so many meanings.
So, is there any like technique to go fast here, or is it just play the level?
It's fast technique here is to hold A and
I see.
cut your corners tight. As long as you can do those two things, you can get a decent time. I got like a 58, like a mid 58. That's pretty decent.
Alright, nice job. I mean, doesn't really look like much, but I'm sure many ones been lost there.
Yeah, more than I would like to admit. Because there's that last turn at the end, and it's not bad. You can just go along it and maybe lose 0.25 of a second, or you could do this little hop over it. But if you jump too early, you'll fall to your death. I have died there a couple times.
Oh no.
It's very embarrassing because it's not
Maybe
worth.
you didn't do it this time.
I did, but not to as much of an extent as I used to.
Oh,
I did like a smaller hop. Alright, so this galaxy is very short. It's just this one level. And you gotta paint all the platforms yellow.
So are you following like a certain route, or are you just like doing your own way?
Yeah, so I think of this level as a spiral. You kind of go up and to the right, and then you just go along the outside from there.
I see.
So up right, then kind of like down left to finish it off. And then the triple jump at the end. Alright, so the first official boss of the game, the first time we would play against Bowser or Bowser Jr., or their creations. And this one is called Megaleg, and he's this giant three-legged mechanical creature that lives on this one planet. Oh, I got the frame perfect jump.
Nice job.
Thank you. And usually you're supposed to get a bullet bill and break a cage, but we get impatient, so we just do a triple jump and hop on top of the cage instead of breaking it. And in this game, the fastest way to go through text is to hold the A button and then press A at the end of the message, rather than spamming A like it is in some other games.
Yeah.
Or like I'd say, most other games. So once we're here, we just kind of casually climb his body, and then we break the cages on top of him. And that's about the extent of the boss fight. Your first time playing through, it's kind of difficult because you're still getting used to mechanics and I don't know. Plus on that second phase where there's the ring of cages and not the complete dome, you have to casually you'd have to break one and then lead a second bullet bill through that gap you made, all in a set time period.
I see.
So instead, you just jump over it, because
Yeah,
it's a lot
very
better.
smart.
Alright, according to my splits, I'm only a minute behind. We're doing good. And 40 seconds of that was the first level, so I feel pretty good about this. We're doing good. Alright, so we're unlocking our second dome here with the power of a grand star. So, now we can head over to the fountain and play what used to be considered the worst level in this game, or in this category.
And why is that?
There's this skip called, uncreatively, Space Junk 1 skip. And you just kind of use pole stars and land in a gravity field that's farther in the level. It's kind of hard to explain more than that, because that's pretty much all it is. I can't tell you how much time it saves, and I don't know how many planets it skips. But I know it's faster. Which is all you need to know. The only run when I didn't do it was my first run ever. And that was when I was doing a blind run just to get a time. But this skip used to be considered really hard for some reason, because people couldn't figure out why it worked sometimes and why it didn't work others. And then I think maybe, I don't know, I think it's already been like 6 months. I think April made a tutorial on how it worked. And then maybe maybe a couple days after that, we had a conversation. And by we, I mean people in the Galaxy Discord figured out that if you face backwards, you move farther. So.
Oh, interesting.
So that took a couple tries there, but you skip a lot, and it's nice. Also, hi Vivi, thank you for the good luck. That I just did. I did a triple jump and skipped what you were supposed to do, which is collect or rescue toads from the top. That is called Sludgy Hop, and is also why this level is generally considered bad. I don't think there's any top level players that are currently active in this game, because I think they all went over to Odyssey.
Yeah.
But I think even out of all of the players, there was only ever 2 that did that skip. Ever. Like in runs.
Oh, wow.
It was deemed too difficult. But me and this one guy, Alex Goes Fast, we were able to figure out a setup, and it works enough of the time. So we do it. Oh, there was a third guy, but he kind of disappeared again. He came in, got 3rd place in this category, and then disappeared.
Oh, okay.
What a guy, right?
Yep.
I mean, I liked him. He was nice. I just haven't seen him around since. And that was around the time I was more active in this game and kind of running it consistently. So that was probably maybe 6 months ago as well. But I thought it was cool because I was like, oh, this guy's improving really fast. Maybe we can Maybe we can do some races and be a similar skill level at some point. And then totally flew by me. And then became a legend. That's about it. Alright, so here we're grabbing a turtle shell and skipping that little sling star just so we can have one extra ammo, basically, to start off this fight with. Because generally here, you'd have to wait for Kamala, which is the Kamek thing, to throw some fireballs and then a turtle shell. But if you just start off with a turtle shell, you can skip some phases.
I see.
Whee. Yeah, but these fights, I think you see her twice in 120 and only once in any %. It's fairly straightforward. You get a shell and you throw it at her, dodge the fireballs.
Yeah, seems pretty straightforward.
And then you get the star that's in her staff. It's pretty good. Do you have a favorite galaxy in this game?
Do I have a favorite galaxy? I have no idea. I've not played this game for a while, but I don't know. Maybe the more I might find the galaxy that I liked back in the day.
All right.
Well, do you have a favorite galaxy?
I like the second Bowser level, which isn't until like an hour and a half from now.
Oh, okay.
But this galaxy is always kind of a fun one. Even if it isn't necessarily your favorite, it's always kind of one that has the weird controls that you don't use many times in the game. But this one, it's Sonic. You're a ball, and you roll. And I just failed the easiest skip in the game.
Oh no.
And it seems like suicide, but you're just jumping off the side there, and you land on the railing if you can aim at least. Woo! I'm surprised that first one missed, though. It kind of looked like I landed on it and then fell off afterward. I don't know.
That's exactly what happened. That's you kind of landed on it and then you just like kind of slid off or something.
Alright, well, I don't think this can PB. But that is just fine. We're here to have fun.
We're here to have fun, entertain, and most importantly, raise money for charity.
Raise money for that charity. Yes. I've been thinking recently about this game and how since nobody's playing it, since all the Galaxy runners have either completely stopped running this game or went on to Odyssey or doing something on their own, what I've thought about doing is just coming back to this game and totally beating everyone's times while they're off doing something else.
I mean, I'd definitely make him come back.
I mean, that's true. I should have practiced more. There we go. No, I need those. But it's a thought that I've had because I don't know, I have a lot of experience in this game. Not as much as some people, but I got my sum of best fairly low. And I just didn't have consistency. That was my main problem when I ran this. I couldn't do anything consistently. Go beat Valu. I mean, that's always the plan, right? That's everybody's plan. And then Valu comes back, and then you're disappointed. Just because you're like, oh, Valu beat me again. What a surprise. I mean, Sludgy tried, and then he gave up. It's probably one of my favorite things. It's been a long time since like I first found Galaxy as a speed game and everything, but when I did, that was right around the time when Sludgy and Valu were first getting into their rivalry, and they're the top 2 players for this category.
I see.
And so for a while there, they were kind of battling for a world record and everything. And just kind of being rivals in general. But the common theme is that Valu was always on top.
Yeah.
And that's kind of showing with everything Valu does. He's generally one of the top players. Because I went to his speedrun.com profile earlier today just because I needed to learn something for this run that I hadn't actually learned before. But I was just checking it out. He has the world record for every category in both of the Galaxy games. It looked like he had world record in all 3 categories for 3D World up until maybe 4 months ago, I think it was. So it sounds like if he puts his mind to it, he will get world record. And that's also showed with Odyssey as well, with his constant world records there.
Yeah.
My point here is that Valu is a god and do not challenge him. But I like that people challenge him because, not that I don't believe in the other people, it's just that I believe in Valu more because of his dedication.
Yeah.
Since Valu's trying so hard and in all of the speed games that he actually takes seriously, I feel like as long as he continues, he's gonna keep shooting for the top. And he's gonna stay at the top. He's second at 90%. Yeah, that was up until about 4 months ago, I believe. But he was first. No! Yeah, I really should have. Oh, okay. We're just hitting some bombs here. Don't worry.
Man.
Definitely saving time. Yeah, at least I'll know what to practice for my next run, which hopefully I continue doing. Do you speedrun anything?
I do speedrun Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. At the moment I'm like 35th.
Nice.
But I'm hoping to become like top 20 soon. So yeah, very dedicated. I don't really speedrun anything else. I think I started speedrun Super Mario 64 for a bit, probably learning, but whether I continue to do that or not is up to whether I get close to world record in SA2.
That makes sense. It's like the closer you get to, you don't want to start another speed game if you're.
No, I'm very dedicated to SA2, and until I at least get top 10, then I'm not going to start any other ones.
That makes sense.
Because I always feel like you should find that one game. You could start loads of speed games to become like top 50 or something, but I'm that type of guy that wants to at least, in one game become like top 10 or whatever. So I chose one game, and I focused, and I'm like still grinding, like practicing, stuff like that. And then once I finally get it, which I'm confident I can do it, then that's when I'll start going on to other games. That's how I feel like speedrunners should do stuff. Because if you going on all these different games, then you're gonna be less good at that one game that you might wanna be really good at.
That makes sense, yeah.
That's just how I see things. I'm sure many speedrunners see things differently than I do.
I also think it also depends on why you're speedrunning, I guess. Because I think of like Chrism, and like he speedruns for fun, but he also streams as a living. Yeah. So I feel like if he's speedrun, like if he wants to focus on Galaxy or Mario 64 or something like that, and he constantly streamed that, I feel like he would lose a lot of viewers at first. And even if he really wanted to do that, he'd be losing all of those viewers, so he can't do that. Because, like I said, that's his job, so. But I feel like if you're not streaming for your job, and you already haven't set yourself up as, this is the one game I'm good at, then I feel like it's a lot more likely, or a lot more people who are smaller in that sense will focus on games like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I did with this game. I made it to top 10 twice. Currently I'm 12th.
Okay.
But I want to change that. I'm just lazy and don't run the game. Which probably doesn't help.
No, definitely.
But I also pick fairly easy games to run too. So.
Well, as long as you get, have the dedication, then you can definitely get a world record. To be honest, like,
Yeah.
The world record holders aren't just these monsters that were created from like space or whatever. They're human beings just like yourself. Like with a lot of dedication, you can become exactly like them.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of people fail to realize that. Like they'd say like this guy is a monster or whatever, which I agree with. Like he's I'm saying he as like whatever.
Mhm.
I'm not like trying to say like has to be a man or whatever. Just getting that out there before anyone starts.
Yeah, I know what you meant.
Yeah, like I'd say instead of saying like and accepting that this person's this monster that you think, why don't you try and become that monster as well and just get dedicated. So even if you don't get a world record, you'll be recognised for your dedication and your hard work.
I think a really good example, and this could just be because I'm not as into other speed games, is Chizo5. I feel like he's a really good example of staying dedicated and then taking world record. His grind for 139 and then got it. I was emotional for him. I mean, clearly he was really emotional. I think that's a very clear example, is if you stay dedicated, then you can get world record and you can become that person you really want to be.
Definitely, like, you gotta set little steps though. So obviously you don't have world records straight away. So like, you know, say the game's average about maybe 40 minutes. You wanna aim for sub 1 hour, then, you know, sub 55 minutes and stuff like that. You gotta take little steps. You can't just like go, you know, let's try and go for sub, you know, world record, because that's not gonna happen.
Nah. Cheese is still dedicated. I know he is. I think he got third in Ocarina of Time, 100%.
But you know, he's still definitely very
He
dedicated.
is. I love that guy. I remember meeting him at SGDQ this last year, and it was really nice. He's a very nice guy. But I remember talking to him about speedrunning and stuff, and just about how he stays dedicated. I don't know. I feel like it can be hard though, because at times you can even see his frustration, and you can feel your own frustration if you focus on a game for so long, because it's like, I'm not getting anywhere, improvements aren't happening, even when they are improvements, very small. Just things like that. But you just gotta kind of power through, because you will eventually make it.
No, definitely.
Anyway, not to break up this conversation, but we're at Bowser. So basically, he just kind of jumps around, and you kind of see these blue circles on the ground. You get him to jump on those, and then he burns himself and has to run around to cool himself off, or something like that.
So I assume the strat is just hit him, like there's no like speedrun strat to make anything quicker, just
It's pretty much like that. The only strat that exists, and I guess it kind of can speed up a fight a lot, is there's a phase after you kind of hit him back and forth and whatever, and he moves on to the next phase, I guess.
I see.
He spits out these fireballs, and you can skip that by like spinning next to him. And there's two ways you can do it. I do the slower way because I haven't learned the fast way. The slower way is where you kind of long jump and spin by his head, and then he kind of goes down once, and then he goes down the second time on the circle. But the fast way is if you spin underneath him, then he'll immediately jump up and then jump right back down onto the circle. And I guess in this fight, it would save, I don't know, maybe 15 seconds. Probably less, though. Maybe closer to 10. But there's small things like that. Otherwise, the fight's fairly straightforward.
Yeah.
Just kind of play it like you normally would. Alright, so since that was the boss, we beat Bowser, so now we get to unlock another dome. We got more power, now we get to play some more levels. That's basically the story that we're skipping out on here. So this is probably one of my least favorite levels. And for no good reason either. It's not too difficult, I just don't like it.
Oh, okay. I mean, you have that one stage, I guess, in the speedrun that you just don't like. Even
Yeah.
if it's an easy speedrun.
I mean, there's 1 star, or I guess 2 stars in this level. I mean, the second one's the comet, that's kind of sped up, but it's basically the same thing. It just has 1 hard jump at the end, and I'm good at missing that.
Oh, okay.
And that loses maybe 15 seconds.
So you really don't want to miss it.
No, I don't, but because I'm a speedrunner, I have to go for it.
Well, yeah, obviously, that'd just be boring.
Because if you don't go for it, I believe it's, I think maybe 10 seconds if you don't go for it. So it's like, might as well go once, and if you miss it, then...
Yeah.
I can't... My control stick is not doing very good today. I can't get the good angle.
These goddamn controllers are in hours.
There we go. This is embarrassing. This is by far the easiest star in this galaxy. Alright. So for whatever reason that was overly difficult. The general idea is you backflip off that tree, which I did, and then took forever to do, and then you just triple jump. I believe this level has you like go into the water, break open a chest with a shell, and do a ton of other things like that. Or instead you could just go straight up to the star. Which makes more sense in a speedrunner's opinion, so we just go up to the star. I believe world record even died on that star for whatever reason.
Oh no.
I think he was trying to backflip off the tree and then missed. Something like that. I'm not sure if that's current world record or the old one. But of course, world record is Valu, so
Yeah.
it feels like, and I like that one because, like, even since his world record is so much better than everybody else's time, it's still very clearly improvable. Because he died. Lots of stuff like that. I think that's one of my favorite concepts, is even though Valu's good, he messes up still.
Alright, so what's happening now then? Anything interesting, or are you just grabbing all the stars you can?
This one's just kind of, I like this level a lot, or this specific star. I don't believe I found it as a kid, but you kind of take this shell and then break this chest into somewhere you wouldn't even think to look.
Oh.
And then you get this bonus area, and then meet the ice flower. Also, hi FF. So the ice flower, the basic physics is you turn water into ice. That's about it. And it's timed, so you don't get to keep it forever.
Oh.
Alright, so here at the ending, you're supposed to, like, get a Cataquack and use him to hop up to the star, but you can long jump to the side and backflip off of there. What are the differences between Mario and Luigi in this game? That's a good question that I should have explained earlier. So, the differences is that Luigi, like, he accelerates slower, but he has a higher top run speed. He can jump higher. Those are the main differences. Just his general movement like that. I feel it always feels like he's slightly harder to control, just because of that, because he kind of slippery. That's just movement. General game changes is the cosmic races are harder and use a more advanced route than the Cosmic Mario ones. There's no cutscene at the beginning of the game. Like when you choose Mario, you have this entire intro where it's like where you're kind of in the Mushroom Kingdom, or by Peach's castle at least, and that gets abducted. You don't get that with Luigi. And that's about it. Alright, so here's the jump earlier that I talked about hating.
Okay.
And I got it.
Oh, nice.
Ooh. Alright, we have to do that in like 30 minutes, so hopefully I don't mess it up then. So basically you just kind of jump up left over that gap instead of going right and kind of following where the path is supposed to go.
Yeah.
But it's...
How much time did that jump save then?
I think it's anywhere between like 10 and 15 seconds. I don't know for sure. It's just one of those things. It's like,
Yeah.
well, if you play at this level, you should be doing this. And then I fall for all of those, and saves enough time to justify doing it. That's about it. That's a lot of things in this game. I have no idea how much time they save. I just know that it's faster.
Yeah.
Which is all that matters, you know? I mean, unless if you're surfing, then maybe don't jump over that little gap for 0.25 of a second. Alright, now we're a rainbow. The generic star power-up that you get in almost every Mario game. Kills enemies. The only difference is you have a higher top run speed. And I think your jumps are maybe a little different. Anyway, nothing super notable. It's a cool thing. That's about all.
It is definitely pretty cool.
Very pretty. This skip coming up is called Mansion Clip. So generally you're supposed to go through the mansion and become a boo and go through some walls. But we bounce through the bottom of a mansion, take the hidden back door, and then become a boo later in the level. So, we just became boo for
Okay.
about 15 seconds. We will not see him for the rest of the run.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully you enjoyed it.
Yep.
Alright, so here's where we find out if the run died or not. I think I have enough star bits. If I don't, that'd be really embarrassing. So, I believe I mentioned this earlier, but I'm going to mention it again. You need... Thank God. You need 400 star bits to feed the first Luma.
Ooh, okay.
And it's honestly not that hard as long as you're paying attention to getting star bits. But I'm very good at not paying attention.
Okay.
But It's okay, Varun isn't dead. We have 410.
410, nice.
Yep, we were only 10 over,
Oh,
which
that
is
was,
a little tighter than I would like, but should be just fine. Wait, this is the example of the hungry Luma that turns into a galaxy, rather than just a planet. Then we go talk to our brother Luigi, and then we go. That was probably the funniest concept as a kid. When you play as Luigi and then there's another Luigi and he's just talking to himself. Alright, so don't get too hungry. And especially me, because I can't get up. We got Sweet Galaxy. I believe the star is called Rocky Road, and you get a whole bunch of ice cream and cake and chocolate. So don't get too hungry. Unless you have those things, then go grab them right now.
But not too much. Let's vary.
So this level is basically all long jumps.
Yeah, I can see that. It was very movement based.
Yeah. It was pretty decent. It wasn't excellent, but you know, we didn't die. And dying here is a little more common than you would think. There's that kind of area where there's the two walls and it's a curvy area. That part, generally, I bonked there, but I got lucky and didn't fall into the hole, so that happens fairly often.
Also, a quick plug, we do have an NGR Twitter, and we have the all this time schedule of every runner that's going to be running in this marathon. So if you're interested in what runs are next and what's going to happen in the next 2 days, then you should definitely go check out the NGR Twitter.
Yeah, listen to this guy. He actually knows what he's talking about. I just only talk about this game. I forget that I have to actually talk about the marathon occasionally. No!
Don't worry about it. That's why I'm here, you know. Sorry, I've got you. You focus
Thanks.
on you playing your game.
Alright. So here's the easiest star that you can still lose time on. It is by far the easiest star you can get in this game.
Okay.
And I lost 5 seconds to it.
Oh no.
It's you hold straight and then you triple jump and land on the roof, but the way you lose time is you triple jump too early, and then you like land on the slope of the roof and then you kind of fall off.
Okay.
It's not a huge time loss, but it's kind of like embarrassing because it's like, oh, if I would have just maybe waited, it was a little more patient, then I would have been okay. Alright, first comet, I think. Yeah, this is the first comet of the run. This is the first time we're gonna see Cosmic Luigi. And it's basically a race.
Okay.
It's a race to a specified goal, kind of like the Koopa the Quick in Mario 64 or Piantissimo from Sunshine.
Oh yeah.
It's just in Galaxy now. So instead of following his route, we just kind of walk up the ledge and then land later in the level. Alright. If it looks difficult, I can assure you that was not difficult whatsoever.
Okay.
It may look difficult because, like, you're falling off a ledge and then you kind of, like, panic because you're like, oh no, where am I going to land?
Yeah.
But it's walk off and then completely let go of the control stick. And then after you shake, you hold back. Because apparently after shaking, or spinning, or whatever, you move faster backwards than you do forwards.
Interesting.
I can't think of an instance other than right there that it's important. Oh, Space Junk 1 skip, that's a perfect example. I have to be facing away from the direction I want to be going, otherwise it won't work at all.
Oh, right.
Which is really strange. Anyway, here we are at the level that I hate for the second time and the last time in the run.
Okay.
I think. Yeah. We're gonna do the same risky jump. And we fail.
Oh, unlucky, unlucky.
Yep, I'm gonna go for it again because
Yeah, go on.
I believe in myself.
I also believe in you.
Oh. Oh. If I fail it this time, then I'll go around. Ah, I got it.
Nice job.
It's one of those things where you can't practice it too much, otherwise you'll forget how to do it. It's very strange. Why didn't it work? I believe it didn't work because I wasn't in the exact corner of that like little square that I jumped off of. And I was more to the top edge of it. I think you're supposed to go right to the end, or right to the corner, as exact as you can, and then go from there. I mean, you hold up left the entire time.
Looks like Nightbot isn't doing its job.
Nightbot never works.
Well, I tried them, so I was just testing the waters, but Nightbot's just like asleep or something.
Nightbot works. I kind of always say that Nightbot's terrible, but I mean,
No,
it does its job. It does very well.
Definitely does its job.
No? Okay. So this level's fun. You get to be a bubble and you push him around. You can definitely go too fast and then totally die. But as long as you're patient... No! No!
Oh dear.
Oh! Ooh! I saved it. That was
Nice.
good. So I guess I did a skip there. I skipped the entire second half of that level. And you kind of backflip onto those rocks and you're supposed to long jump, right? But that didn't seem to work, so instead I backed it up. We're safe. We didn't die.
Nice job.
I didn't expect to live, but you know, dying would take more time. And I like being fast. Alright, so here we are, back at Ghostly Galaxy. And this is what I'd consider the hardest trick in the run. And it's not like it's like, oh, I can only get it 20% of the time. I'm consistent at it. It's just hard. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And it looks impressive too, which is why I learned it.
Yeah, it's always nice to show off these cool skips in a marathon.
Yeah, that's why you learn to be fast. Not necessarily for the good time, but just to look cooler.
You know it.
Alright, so... Oops. Alright, we can work with that. That. Maybe we can work with that. No. Okay, I'm going to die here just so I can show this off.
Okay.
Obviously, if I were going to try for the best time I could go for, then I would obviously not die and... What? That made no sense. I'd do something else. I'd back it up, but I want to show this off.
Okay.
But no, like I said, that this is like, oh yeah, it's not too bad. I'm gonna die 3 or 4 times. I want to show this off. I'm proud of knowing this.
Well, I believe in you. Everyone else, I'm pretty
Okay,
sure everyone
I'm
hates us
done.
as well.
I can't do it. I'm gonna run out of lives.
Unlucky, unlucky.
I'm sad. It's really cool. So basically, what it is there's this entire section, but we're now gonna see, because I can't do the actual trick, and you can kind of see this mansion build up. And basically what we do is we land on top of the doors, because the mansion doesn't exist with beforehand, but the doors do, for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So we land on top of the doors, and we do specific jumps from door to the top.
I see, yeah.
It's not too bad, as I fail it 5 times in a row, and then completely give up because I'm wasting too much time. Yeah, I lost 1.5 minutes there. That was fun.
Yeah. Maybe not too bad.
We're less than 4 minutes behind, and we're only an hour in. We can do it.
You can do it, I believe in you.
Which is not good for the estimate. It means I have to actually play decently. Right, so here is a cool skip. You can do this yourselves at home, kids.
Pay close attention.
This one's super easy, and anyone can do it. You just aim the cannon really far to the left, and then you skip. Maybe like 2 or 3 ships. It's pretty great.
Nice.
Alright, and generally I wouldn't want to pick up that one up because of that text box, but honestly I'm kind of worried. So...
But better to be safe.
Absolutely. Even if this run takes longer than I would have liked it to, I do not want to embarrass myself by gaming over. Getting a game over. That would be the most embarrassing. No! Okay. So this fight is basically the Kamala fight that we did earlier, where you throw shells at her. Just, but Bowser Jr. this time.
Let's see.
And he throws fireballs and bullet bills and everything at you. But you just throw green shells right back at him. It's the same thing, just harder. Nope, I missed it. So yeah, that was fun. We are maybe halfway through the run? Maybe? No? We're getting there.
If we are halfway, then we definitely beat the estimate.
We're not quite halfway. We're getting there though. It shouldn't. I'm hoping to still beat the estimate. Let me shorten all my words.
I know you can.
No, stop scrolling. Okay. So I'm gonna actually be doing a different route than I am used to. Because right around the 6 months ago, where everything happened, I guess. But I guess it's more of the time that I was actually active to in this community. Or a lot of things were happening at least. This guy called Trustfall. I think his current username is Team Trustfall. He started speedrunning the game, and then he made a route. He made a couple routes, and I believe this route is the fastest. We used to do the star where you race a boo in Ghostly to get a star, and that ended up being slow, so we replaced that with doing Space Chunk 1 again.
I see.
And nobody did the route for a while because people were like, Space Chunk 1? Remember all the problems we had there? I don't want to do that again. And then the people who didn't think it was difficult just totally went in with the free time save.
Yeah, seems like it's a stage they should definitely learn.
Yeah. Because if everything goes well, I believe it's a 30-second time save over the old route. Which is fairly significant just for doing a different star. That is basically a star you already did in the run.
Yeah.
I think what scared most people away, and me, is having to do Space Chunk skip again. Or Space Chunk 1 skip with the gravity fields and whatever. And then, like, Sludgy Hop or whatever alternative there. Is just more of like, I don't want to do all that again and risk failing. Because if you die in that comet, which is going to be coming up after this level, it's a timed one, and if you die at any point, it will start you back at the beginning.
Yikes.
So that's always fun.
Yep.
You play the level and then you die right at the end. For pretty much no reason. Oh, that works. Alright, we gotta collect some music notes here. Music notes are always fun. You gotta make some music, even if they're just notes going up in pitch. And then the black hole disappears and then a star goes in its place.
Nice.
That's how science works.
Yep. I mean,
Instead of a star turning into a black hole, the black hole turns into a star.
Isn't a black hole like formed from like a star though?
Yes.
Yeah, that is something. I don't think black holes can revert us back into stars, and then like,
I don't
the
think
stars.
so, no.
But I mean, you know what? It's might be here. I mean, let's be real.
I mean,
it doesn't really make much sense.
I mean, it's possible. I mean, we don't really know a ton about black holes, except that they're evil.
Mean, yeah, and they suck stuff in. But
I mean,
who knows? Maybe inside the black hole, it's just just a star.
From what I understand, it has infinite density because it just sucks in everything.
Yeah.
I don't know. I see no reason why it couldn't reverse at some point. Because, I mean, if every star is going to die at some point, then, like... Dang it. What's going to happen to, like, the universe? Is it just going to constantly shrink? Because, I mean, I'm told the universe is constantly expanding, but at some point, the stars are going to explode and become black holes and whatever. Are they going to... What, is it going to balance out?
Well, I think it's like how, you know, humans die every, like, so-and-so, but there's also way more, you know, babies born. I think it's a little bit like that. I mean, there's, like, stars, like, destroying the universe or whatever.
Yeah.
But there's also more way more universe being created. Because, you know, stars, you know, I don't know how many years or light years stars live for, but, you know, it could be, it's clearly long enough for, you know, the universe to get big, and then when the star dies, it sucks a bit in, but, you know, it doesn't suck all of it in, obviously.
Like, I don't think it will get to the point where, like, the universe, like, starts shrinking because of how many black holes there are. I just wonder if it's ever gonna slow down the universe growing.
Oh, we never know. For all we know, there could be another Big Bang.
That's true. That would be really interesting if at some point the universe, like, stopped growing, and then the next Big Bang was because there's so many black holes pulling the universe back into itself.
Yeah. Hey, you know,
I like that.
You're learning stuff in the speed run.
I'd like...
Definitely. Science learning with speedrunners.
I'm just talking to talk.
Yeah, you know, just...
It's working. I'm enjoying it.
I'm having a blast, honestly.
I mean, I think that's an interesting concept, though, for Big Bang.
No, definitely.
I mean, it would explain it, I guess, because I believe... I forgot if I read it or if I watched it or something, but about, like, how there could have possibly been multiple bangs before this, and been multiple universes. And I'm just wondering if black holes could be the cause of the universe completely collapsing. Kind of like, because I feel like the universe is also explained as a balloon, where it just constantly gets bigger. Balloons pop. So there has to be a point where, and like, when you're blowing up a balloon, it kind of starts off fast, and then it slows down. Like, as it gets to a certain size, it just kind of slowly gets bigger. I feel like the universe is kind of like that. And obviously we won't be able to tell or measure or anything, because we're so tiny, but...
Well, another theory could be like the universe grows so big, but then there's like a load of black holes, and then it could like divide the universe into separate parts.
Ooh.
This needs to be like a big universe though that we're talking about.
There
are a lot of black holes, but you know, the possibility that, you know, there are a lot of black holes in a certain area, it could easily like just divide the universe.
That'd be interesting. I mean, that would kind of explain, or not completely explain, but that would kind of be like, oh, what if you did like multiple timeline theories or like alternate universe things like that? Like, it wouldn't necessarily be true, because I highly doubt that it would be an exact copy.
Nah,
but you'd be like, oh yeah, in a different universe this happened, and there could be different universes. We don't know. It's all just information.
Yeah.
I don't understand how this is spectacular commentary either, but, you know, I was told to have fun, and here I am, talking about black holes and science. Alright, so here... This is what most people would consider the best music in the game.
Oh yeah.
And I would also agree. But some people are like, oh, this music's overrated. What do you think about it? The Gusty Garden theme.
Gusty Garden. Let's have a listen then. Oh yeah, I remember this. It's quite good. I mean, like, I don't know if it's the best because I don't physically, mentally have every music in Galaxy like in my head and then like rated and stuff. But
Yeah, I know
I
what you
don't
mean.
know, like, I'd have to be like a, like a speedrunner or like a average player of this game to actually decide if it's my favorite or not.
Alright. Makes sense. This was just always the music that stuck in my head.
Oh no.
I hate pigs. Stop posting links. Warning. Yeah, I think science is really fun.
Science is fun.
It kind of depends on what part of science, and that's kind of always up to the person too. Like, some people can find chemistry with elements and everything like that really fun.
Yeah.
And some people can find astronomy and talking about black holes like that really fun. I don't know, science is very vague and like can be considered anything. Pretty much.
Hey, Nightbot is working.
Nightbot works, but you just can't add things.
Nah. Well, Nightbot decides whether it wants to work or not, I guess.
Is it possible that it's certain permissions? Like, you have to go in with the NGRMarathon channel itself and check out Nightbot's permissions and see if it allows certain people to do things?
Yeah, that is true.
Because I'm assuming that's what the problem is. And people can find talking about rocks exciting. Yeah, I don't completely understand that personally, but I mean, rocks can be cool too. You can find dinosaurs in them. You can. Some rocks are really pretty.
Yeah, they definitely are.
I know nothing about them, but you know, that's all I got.
To be fair.
No, that's not good. It's not too bad, but it's not good either. Whee. This is probably the most difficult planet to remember what to do on. The reason being is that it's a question mark.
Yeah.
And not just because of its... It is because of its shape, though. Oh my gosh. It's... because these moles move around, but they only move if they're on camera.
Oh, okay, I see.
And then...
You have to find them first.
You have to, like... It's fairly certain where they'll end up being, but sometimes it can be exactly... Like, they could be on screen for a lot longer than you expected, and they could be on the exact opposite side of a planet.
Okay.
So it's one of those levels where you have to do the movement the exact same every time if you want it to work out.
Okay, that seems quite tedious, but...
Yeah. Luckily, it's not too bad, but it's meh. It's meh. Drawing paint can be fun with the right people. Yeah, drawing paint can be fun. I mean, you don't really do anything to dry paint except point fans at it, but... Cheese and while we steal your viewers. Yeah. Who set up Nightbot anyways? I don't know.
No, do I?
Alright, so this is my favorite character in the game.
Oh yeah?
I don't know his name.
Alright, good start.
It might be Major Burrows now that I actually put my mind to it. But still, what he does is he hunts bunnies for his living.
Oh, okay.
And I'm glad that he's doing it for me, because I hate
I
bunnies.
see. Oh, okay.
But bunnies in Galaxy are not
No, as we,
fun.
Yeah, as we saw in the first part of the run.
Yep.
They were quite very annoying.
Yes, very annoying. So, but my split name is the True Protagonist.
True protagonist.
Yep, because instead of saving Peach, he's hunting bunnies. That's all you need to do to be a winner. Chef, okay. Alright. So here, this is an instance where it's collect the coin, and then another one spawns, and then collect that coin. It's honestly not a very interesting concept, but it works. But here we just collect all these coins, it spawns star bits, and then it spawns a rainbow star.
Ooh.
And then we use this rainbow star to kill the golden chain jump.
Oh boy.
Oops. And then the golden chain jump has a star in him.
Nice.
$35 stars. We're getting there.
You are indeed getting there.
We are over halfway officially. So,
How many stars does he wouldn't end off with?
the run, so you have to have 60 stars to unlock the final level, and the final level is the 61st star, so
Let's see.
61 stars, I believe, used to be the name of the category. Or, I mean, there was, maybe it wasn't the used to be, but there was talk about having the name be 61 stars rather than any percent.
Yeah.
And I didn't personally understand. Like, cause I mean, like Mario 64 has like 0, 1, 16, 70, and 120.
Mm-hmm.
But Galaxy, there's not any other specific star totals. It's 61 for any percent and 120. So it just makes sense to me for it just to be any percent and 120.
Any percent, yeah.
I mean, not that the name matters too much, but still. That was just kind of my thoughts on it when that conversation was going on. It's like, it makes more sense for it to be named any percent, at least to me.
No, definitely.
No! Okay. Yes. Alright, so here's fun gravity stuff. You could continue doing gravity stuff, or you could just do a cool long jump over here and sequence break.
Oh boy.
Which makes the end of this level really easy, because usually there's all these cannons that you can see, and they're generally shooting. But if you just kind of, shoot, just long jump and are able to... I can't think. I'm sorry. Can't continue my train of thought. It just makes the ending easier, because there's less things to dodge.
Yeah.
We assume everyone 0 is 80%, 1 is 80%, 16 is 80% no hard tricks. 70 is no major glitches. I agree with that one. Thank you for good luck. I don't know, any percent technically would be 0, and then 1 and 16 are irrelevant at that point. If you want to go like that, because there's no hard glitches. That's dumb. Nobody's gonna have a category named no hard glitches.
Yeah, that would be kind of
And plus, even if it was like any percent and then like any percent no major glitches on the Mario 64 leaderboard, there'd be no point ever doing a 16-star run or a 1-star run, because they'd be put into that any percent with glitches.
Yeah.
And they'd automatically be slower than a 0-star run, so...
It's just kind of a big mess if you do it that way then.
Mm-hmm. Saying it's 9:45 a.m. It's like 8:45. North Coast, Best Coast.
North Coast, Best Coast.
About 31-star runs. See, those are actually irrelevant, though. And I mean, those do exist. Those are just on a secondary leaderboard. 31, 45... I know there's others. I just can't think of them.
England, Best Coast.
England, Best Coast?
England, Best Coast.
Wouldn't that be West Coast then? For Europe in general?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Alright. I'm not near a coast, but I'm Northern America, so... North Coast.
No West Coast, Best Coast. Oh. See ya, Talk.
See ya, thank you for good luck. Oops. That did not work.
You guy loves some school.
School. School. Ah.
Why at school when you could be speedrunning or watching NGR?
True.
See, we already did all of school in one conversation that we had about science.
Yeah, science. That's all you need. I can even bring up math and still have it be relevant to the run.
I mean, yeah, you could.
That means you can get all your school done right now.
Exactly. And then, like, you could, like, since these streams are gonna be archived, you could just be like,
just watch this.
And then just...
Alright. Well, then I'll even give you some history too, because it's also history about stuff about this game.
Did you know that goats are actually reptiles? I don't think that's true.
I don't think that's true either. Anyway, to bring up math, I can only pick up 18 star bit or 17 star bits or lower in a level and not lose time. And the reason that's relevant is that there used to be no route for getting star bits, and it used to be scramble and get star bits wherever you want, which works, and you don't lose a ton of time for it. But every time after I collect a star, there's all those boxes afterward for how many coins and star bits and everything that I collected.
Mm-hmm.
And to not lose time, I'd need to collect 17 or less, like I said. And each box there lasts about a second. So, forever ago, Valu made a route for star bits and tells you how many star bits to collect per level. And so I have them on my splits. Not that stream can see them at all. But
Yeah. I mean, you don't need to see them really. It's just for him to know.
yeah, exactly. But like, for that last level, or for the third Gusty Garden level, I was supposed to collect 50 star bits approximately. And then overall, after I fed the first Luma, they'd have to add up to approximately 600. And it ends up doing that. So there's your little bit of history and your little bit of math. We got annoyed from losing time to starbit boxes and ended up doing math to figure out where we could save time just by collecting starbits in different locations. Good stuff. Now don't go to school, just watch the stream.
Yep. What, you could just watch the stream at school.
Well, yeah, that's even better. You can pretend like you're paying attention and then just like open up your book and then there's a stream.
Get those Google glasses and just
Google Glass,
switch on.
I haven't heard anything about Google Glass in forever.
No, they were like...
Did that like
a year ago or something. I don't
stop?
know, so long ago.
Like, did that... Like, I'm fairly sure that continued, but did it... Were they sold? Did people use them?
I don't think people use them.
Because... Like, I remember hearing about it back in, like, 6th grade, which for me was, like, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And it was really cool. And then I already heard that, like, places were banning it because people could record concerts and whatever. Google Glass project canceled. Oh, okay. That makes sense why I haven't heard anything from it in forever.
Yeah.
Isn't there, like, other projects that are basically trying to do what they did, though? Just
I mean,
not
I wouldn't
Google?
be surprised. I mean...
Like, I mean, I feel like that's augmented reality in general, though.
Yeah.
Because we have virtual reality with, like, the HTC Vive and the Rift and every other smaller version of it.
Yeah.
Oh, this is not great. And then augmented reality is really cool to me. But...
Oh no, it's definitely a very cool idea. And reality.
No! Please! Please shake the remote! Right, so we met the firepower up there.
Okay.
It's basically the opposite of the ice one. You shoot fireballs, and you don't get the advantage of being able to walk on lava or anything. You just are able to throw fireballs.
I mean, at this point, you know, you gotta know what the firepower of it is.
Yeah. Like the first power-up ever introduced. In Mario, at least. Don't forget the Microsoft HoloLens. Oh yeah! What happened to that? That also existed. The last thing
That also exists.
the last thing I saw about that was maybe like a year ago when they were making like... when they were talking about having Minecraft like on a table in front of you. I'm not sure if anybody else remembers that.
I don't remember that instance, but I remember...
I thought that was cool. Because, like, they had a table in front of them, and then they had, like, the entire Minecraft map in front of them. It was, I don't know, it's pretty cool. I liked it. Still in development. Okay.
Just nothing new to report. Okay, fair enough. I mean,
Makes sense.
yeah.
I mean, something as big as that, it's hard to always have
No,
something to
definitely.
report. Or have something interesting to report, at least. Because it'd be like, oh yeah, we updated the software so it doesn't crash when we open Microsoft Word or something.
Yeah.
Stuff that's small like that. And not that the general public would like, and wouldn't require like an entire conference. Alright, so I've lost runs to this stage. And I'm not entirely sure why either. And to specify specifically this part right here after I grab this ice flower, this flip, it turns you in the opposite direction, and for whatever reason I couldn't figure out how to dodge it, or like how to control Luigi again. But since then I've learned.
Okay, good.
Alright, I am golding a decent amount of splits right now, so
Nice job.
like somehow that was gold, and I think that was honestly kind of sloppy, so
Yeah, gold's a gold.
it is a
never
gold.
lies.
Yeah. It always feels good.
No, it definitely does.
This one. Wait, what is secret? What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
You know what he's supposed to do? Oh, no.
I don't remember the movement for this star. That's what I mean.
Oh, okay. That's not as bad as what I thought you meant.
Oh! Oh, that's what I'm supposed to do. I got it. I got it. We're good. Totally lost my, like I'm playing the game. I know what stars are, I know what order of stars and everything, but I just don't remember anything of what I'm supposed to do.
I don't suppose you're on about me, was he?
Sound of a genius.
Apparently I'm some kind of genius in his eyes.
I mean, random rambling is generally what people consider genius level, so
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that makes sense. Too much information to keep in your head, so you have to say it, I guess.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can't like write it down fast enough. I've had that happen to me.
Nah. And have you heard the saying like, if you have bad handwriting, supposedly that you're like a genius because you think faster than you can write. I'm not saying it's true because obviously there's some people who physically cannot do good handwriting, but it's just some kind of saying, and in some ways I do definitely agree, but you can't say that about every person.
I've heard that. And I mean, it can make sense, but like, I don't know. I think it's kind of one of those things. I like about typing though, because
No, definitely.
that doesn't even necessarily mean if you're like, you could type really fast and just type fast to type fast. No real reason. Like you could be a genius and like still like touch type or something like that. Free Slim S was fun casual. It was fun. But now I'm a speedrunner, and now I hate every level because I have to do it fast.
Yep.
Alright, so we gotta see the B power up again here, and its intended function with walls and honeycombs. So this level basically makes up for all the star bits we still need, and it shows us what we kind of missed out on in Honey Hive 1 way back at the beginning of the run.
Yeah, well, I do remember that.
Way back then, when I did the tree skip, we missed an entire planet that basically had these honeycomb things.
Oh yeah.
And it was based off of climbing it, and then at the top we met the queen bee, which sadly we won't really get to meet ourselves, besides that one instance where we talked to her, but only barely. Oops. Okay, there we go. So this galaxy is just kind of boring. It's just kind of hold up and then hold A.
Yeah, kind of climb and dodge enemies.
Yeah. Alright. So we are at my favorite level in the game. Bowser 2.
Bowser 2.
We are 43 stars in, which means we're almost 3/4 of the way done. According to star count, at least. But yeah, we're getting there.
We are indeed getting there.
I can't tell you how much I'm ahead or behind, because since this is a route I'm not used to, I don't have splits. And I won't have splits until near the end of a run, so I'm just gonna hope that I'm playing well enough. Which I think I have been.
No, you definitely have been, you know, doing some unnatural stuff. Or I should say unaverage.
I think after I mentioned I was 4 minutes behind, I haven't made a big mistake since.
No, I can't. No. Definitely not.
So I think I'm still very on pace to meet the estimate. I was very, in my opinion, generous with the estimate, which is 6 minutes over my PB, and in my PB I lost 3 minutes to really dumb things. So I was like, oh yeah, 2:45, that makes perfect sense. But even like I said that, and then somebody told me, I forgot exactly who it was, but they were like, you should raise that estimate to 250. And I'm like, no, I'm keeping it at 2:45. Anyway, so right there, I did a cutscene question mark auto scroller skip, and generally you have to wait on that plus shaped cube and
Oh yeah, you just
go
jumped
through all
right
that
over
gravity.
there.
Yeah, and what I did there is actually the slower way to do it, which is what most people do. I have my own way that I invented, which I am proud of. The one thing I actually contributed to this game. And it's basically, you do that jump, but you jump right away.
Okay.
And I was trying to do it before we went live, and I couldn't do my own strat. So I decided to not do it. I was dying way too often.
Yeah.
No! Alright, so we're losing some time here. So what he does is he like spins into you, and then you have to like reject his spins by spinning. And generally it's fairly easy, but I'm not very good at this game right now. So it's okay. Missed for 2 hours, this is dank. Thanks, I'm trying my best. Was that a confirmed overestimate? No. I'm not gonna be overestimate at all. I guarantee it. There's no way I'm losing 2 more minutes. I promise
There's
you.
definitely a few things that I'm going to need to talk about to Hexaforce about some estimated times. I know one for a fact that's way overestimate. And well, I shouldn't say way, but for that game it's way, because for example, longer games obviously is like 2 minutes save is like, you know, pretty good, but in like a shorter game, a 2-minute save would be a lot bigger than
Yeah.
that's 2 hours.
I think that was something they were kind of overly worried about. Because, I mean, I was watching them kind of get all the submissions in and then kind of scheduling. And when I submitted mine, like I said, they tried to get me to go up like 5 minutes on my estimate.
Mm.
And even like that, I was saying no to. But I feel like that's something they highly overcompensated for, and it might show later in the marathon. Because if people are constantly finishing under estimate, then there's going to be a lot of downtime if people aren't here in time.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's the first time this marathon's going to go on. There's going to be mishaps, of course. It's all a learning experience for future. But
I want to go try and fix most of the problems after this run, definitely. But
bit of downtime's perfect. Yeah, I know.
Estimations aren't, that too important as long as they're not, too over.
Yeah, and I guess that's kind of what I was worried about. Because I want my estimate to be close enough to where it's possible that I could meet that estimate, or I could be under it, but not by a ton.
Yeah.
Because if you go under estimate, like maybe 10 minutes, but multiple runs are under 10 minutes, then if you're gonna have people to be prepared 30 minutes before their run, eventually you're gonna run out of people, because they're gonna think that their run is later and not gonna show up. That was the slowest movement I've ever done. Let's forget that happened. And show off some cool stuff that happened. Windy Valley. Over 20-minute overestimate.
Yeah, Salix is a bit overestimated.
I mean, that's a good idea though, showing off some cool things in the game.
Yeah. I'm definitely, when I'm doing my run, going for some of the hard skips that even some of the pro runners, are like, whoa.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely seem to have the time to be able to even attempt them.
Mm.
Like, yeah, you can go for a good time too, and that's also impressive, but you can go for things and go like, yo, look at this thing. People don't generally do it because it's hard, but it's cool. Look at this.
Exactly.
Like I was trying to do with that one skip and completely failed because couldn't do it. Maybe if I have time after, I'll try to show it off, but the way it's looking now, I don't think I'm gonna have time.
No, it looks fairly tight.
It's alright though. The skip doesn't save any time, but it looks cool. Yes, I love those. There's one of those here in Galaxy where it doesn't save any time over what I do, but it looks cooler.
Yeah.
And so that's back in Freeze Flame 2. I did some... Hold on. Nice. So there was, it was Freeze Flame 2, which was the fire one, and I had to kind of do some cool jumps, and that's the same level we met the fire power-up in.
Mm.
You can, instead of doing the jumps through the gravity, you kind of lava boost right to the end of the level.
Oh, yeah?
And it looks a lot cooler, but it doesn't save time. Or if it does, it's only like a second or a half a second. And I'm capable of doing it, but I fail it. But the way I do it is 100% you cannot fail it. And if you do, you're doing something incredibly wrong. But I always like those. You get to go like, yo, this doesn't save time, but look at this. It looks cool. Just watch me show off. Just advertise streaming all 3. I forgot to do that before my run. I told everybody where to find me, but I didn't actually.
Yeah, I think I might didn't either, to be fair, actually.
Like, I mean, I did, like, yesterday, where I was like, yo, I'm gonna do this at, like, early in the morning. But I didn't go, like, I'm doing this right now.
No.
But I've seen multiple people who I told come in so far, so... I'm glad they still came in. Alright, so... Even though I'm not talking about this level, this is probably my least favorite to actually play in this entire run. But it went nearly perfectly.
Nice.
Just one more thing. Oops. And there we are. There we are.
Good job.
Thank you. Value would be done by now. That's not true. That's not actually true. Don't make me cry. But knowing Valu, he would find a skip and just be done. So I don't think I mentioned it, but world record for this game, or this category, is 2:26:37, I believe. Which is a lot faster than what I do it in.
Yeah, clearly.
That's something I have a bad habit of doing. I compare myself to world record way too often. Which I guess isn't bad if you're just doing it because of like, oh yeah, look at this. Oh, that's cool. But then I look at it and then I'm like, well, what does he do that I don't? How do I get better? Which I guess that kind of is more of like learning from world record, but to the extent that I do it is not good. World record is free. World record is always free. It just depends what world you're playing in. Alright, so here we got a cutscene skip. Let's hope that I can get it. Nope. Which makes this boss actually difficult. So how this would work is that you skip this cutscene, and then you die, but don't die actually. Hold on. So you skip, maybe. I died. Okay.
Oh, okay.
See, I can't do this fight. This fight is actually difficult. So, if you skip the cutscene, the boss doesn't activate.
Oh.
Oh my gosh, I can't do it.
Oh dear.
I failed the cutscene skip again. So the boss doesn't activate if you skip the cutscene, so it makes this fight easier, and he doesn't shoot at you or anything. 4, 5, long jump. Actually get hit because I don't actually know how to fight this boss when he's active. Blah. And so how to do that is when you're going, oh geez. So when you're going off of that vine that I kind of rode to get up here, you can spin just in between the trigger and then landing off of the vine. And then you kind of sneak in over the gate, not right where it's shooting you. So if you go to the left, then you'll avoid the trigger altogether as long as you don't step over there again.
Yeah.
And you can hit him, but he won't ever shoot at you, which makes the fight so much easier.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I shouldn't have died there either. I just don't know how to actually fight him if he's active. I assumed that I would be good enough to actually skip the cutscene every time, but clearly that's not the case. So, no. Alright. Love to finally see this. I know, it's finally here.
Yeah, the big event, the big day.
Okay. Those were music notes.
I see. Okay, just.
Oh yeah. Music notes are hard. I've seen people go too fast and go faster than the notes spawn.
Oh no.
I play it slow, but I still miss.
Oh.
Had trouble sleeping even though I don't run today. So, here's my secret. You just don't sleep. Hear me out, okay? Don't sleep. That's all. Don't sleep. Drink some water maybe to help you through. Maybe some caffeine. You know, play some video games. Be productive. I don't know. Stuff like that. So I don't think I explained it either because we've been talking about way too many random things so far.
No, we have.
So there's this fast boost you can get at the beginning of these cosmic races. And how you do that is you hold Z as it's counting down and then press A on go. Which is more difficult than you would think. Alright, so we finished that level, which is
Nice job.
the worst one to actually play.
No.
So, we're out of the hardest. We are on to the final stretch, I would say.
Nice.
The final 30 minutes. Oops. Hopefully that wasn't disruptive.
No, that was fine.
Alright. Alright, so even though that level was the most disruptive, we are on to a difficult level still. Engine room is generally hard. But here we got an auto-scroller where we follow this shark through some hula hoops. It's not very interesting.
Oh, okay.
But, I mean, it's a nice break because I don't have to use my right hand at all. And next star, I will have to shake repeatedly, basically for a straight minute.
Oh, wow, okay.
I'm not excited for that. Yeah, so we can just kind of enjoy the chill music and the cool environment of the donut-shaped land. I'm gonna do surface swims. If the game lets me. That's the right answer. So I better explain that now before I'm out of breath from shaking my remote. Surface swims are very specific very specific spin inputs that you can do right at the surface of the water, and it's kind of hard to get the right angle. But what happens is the game treats you as both underwater and above water, so you never run out of air, and you move really fast. Oh, it's not this star. So the penguin race, which is going to be Sea Slide 2, which is after the comet. It's basically constant shaking and hoping to get surface swims at certain parts. And here we can maybe see some surface swims, get you an example of maybe what they should look like. But I highly doubt that's going to happen because they're hard.
I believe.
Bam! Nope. 2 out of 4 for the instant starts so far today. That's all we're going to see, so... Maybe, please. What? It made no sense. Alright. It doesn't look like we're getting a surface swim. That's embarrassing. Because that makes this run hard. Or this race harder. Whew. We almost lost the race because I couldn't get a surface swim.
Oh man.
Here's the level, the torturous level. It's not fun. Not fun. I'm gonna be crying afterwards, so be prepared.
Oh boy. Get
Except
rid of this
that-
clip, guys.
Except that not. But I don't know.
I see a common theme of you not liking levels in this game.
No, this game sucks. Nah, this game is fun. I just give it a lot of bad talk, just
Well,
because.
that's what you do. You speedrun a game that you like, and it turns into the worst game you currently own.
Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, it's a really fun game. It has a lot of cool levels. There we go. That's a surface swim. So, the problem with it is just that it has too many levels that I don't like, or just...
Yeah.
And motion controls in general are hard. Because, like, right here, I'm shaking the remote constantly and my arm's hurting. While I kind of generally show Luigi where to go. It's... I don't know. It's like, I like the ideas that they had, just it sucks for speedrunning. I'd rather press a button
Yeah.
repeatedly. Which is something I feel like they failed in Odyssey. It's like, they could have had button alternatives, but oh my gosh, I can't spin. But they chose to have it motion controlled to be the absolute fastest. That was terrible. But I still won, and whatever. My arm hurts now. I was having this problem earlier too, because I'm like shaking a ton right there, but my remote like stops detecting it. And it's weird. It's weird. I was trying to fix it before stream, but I literally couldn't. I even like switched remotes and it just wasn't working for whatever reason. But at least we're out of there. That's
Yeah,
the
that was-
second to last water level we'll ever see.
Oh boy.
Or wait, third. We saved some water levels for last.
Oh.
I forgot that was the change in this route. Nice surface swims, thanks. I'm glad I got at least some of them. But that was a lot worse of a race than I would have liked. Nice. I've gotten a lot of frame jumps today. That's what I call the perfect inputs at the beginning of Galaxy.
Yeah.
Just frame jumps, because nothing else in this game is frame perfect. At least notably human possible frame perfect. Occasional Discord notification? Yeah, I know. That's me.
Yeah, I kept checking my Discord, like, what?
It's generally not a problem for me on streams because I don't have desktop audio and just have like my microphone and game audio, and I like hearing Discord notifications to see if somebody's talking. But yeah, I'm sorry, I did not think of that. It shouldn't be a problem though for too much longer. I think they stopped messaging me because they're going to class or something. And not watching this stream. SMH. Streamer not even in streamer mode. Well, I mean, I just explained why though. I like hearing when I get messages from people. And generally it's about stuff game related or something. So I'd rather get those. Alright, so here's a fun skip that as soon as I started talking about it, failed. So this is called Armpit Skip. You climb in the armpit of the giant robot. I'm failing it again. Please. You climb in the armpit of a robot and you just don't fail. I died. What?
Oh no.
You're not supposed to die. You shouldn't have failed as many times as I did. This is super embarrassing. Ugh.
Don't worry about it. It happens to the best of us.
Yeah. Anyway, point is, you skip actually climbing the robot the way that you're intended to.
Yeah.
By like a lot. And that's what it looks like, out of the armpit at least. Because you're supposed to use the spring mushroom and climb up and do all that. But spring mushrooms are bad, and we hate those. We do not like those at all. We ban those in these premises. So, and that's what this entire level is themed around.
Oh,
Getting the spring power and using that. So armpit skips that. And it saves us the pain. Oh, I missed that split. Oops. We have not many stars to go. We don't have to worry about star bits, which is very good.
Nice.
See, I say that, and then we're going into a level that actually requires getting star bits to continue. So, that's great. I have enough star bits to unlock the level later, though, which is the important part. This level is situational. If I don't get enough star bits, then I can just restart the level.
Okay.
but we got enough, so we're fine. So we talk to the Zaluma, and by general theme, we feed them, and then they become planets. That's my life goals. Transform! You're only gonna hear that one more time, guys.
Oh.
This part of the level is very glitchy, in the way that gravity is kind of meh, and hitboxes are also kind of meh. So you can die midair in this part of the level.
Oh, sounds fun.
It's only happened to me once, but I've seen plenty of like clips of streamers on PB pace and then totally dying in midair, and then losing PB to dying in midair for seemingly no reason. Whoop! Okay. Why did Balloon have to transform into 12 thwomps? It's
That is very true.
bad life decisions, man. That's where it led him. Alright. So that was almost good, and then I talked, and then now the ending's bad. But besides that, that was pretty cool. Needed some friends. It became its own best friend.
It became its own best friend.
Alright, so we were just there, and then now the Galaxy Gods hate us, and now we have to go play that same level again. Just with fast. It's fitting the theme of going fast. I can't wait for this run to be done, and then for me to go to bed. Ah.
Yeah.
I'll probably try to stay up and see some of the next run, but
Yeah, I'll probably just jump into bed and just, get my phone out.
yeah.
It's definitely my plans for the rest of the day.
There's no promises though. I work later tonight, and I don't wanna go into work with little sleep. Gotta get a good amount. Get those hours in.
I mean, I wasn't even planning on commentating. I was planning just on going to sleep.
Yeah.
And here I am.
Ah.
Hey, I was good
We've had
to-
some good conversations though. We
We
had
have.
that black hole conversation.
Yeah.
That was fun. Ah.
Two strangers that I've literally just met about 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
We've had some very good conversations.
I mean, you gotta figure out how to do it at some point. I mean, otherwise you're just, if you're like, get two friends to meet, and then there's the third friend where it's like, oh hi, meet this other guy,
Yeah.
and then like the guy that those two other people go out for like to get some soda or something like that. Then it's like, oh, what do you have to talk about? You gotta come up with something. Cause sitting there in awkward silence it hurts.
No, definitely.
Thanks for the good luck. Alright, here's a jump that I like practicing for no real good reason because I'm not very good at it. But I'm gonna go for it. And it doesn't save too much time, it just looks cool.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it definitely does save time, but I learned it because it looked cool.
Oh, okay.
Ah, I failed. Dang.
Oh, unlucky.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go around. Don't want to go back and try again. I think it's faster just to go the normal way anyway if you fail. But what it is just a triple jump over to the top of that screw there.
Yeah.
It looks pretty cool, but sometimes you can't win them all.
No, you definitely cannot.
I was talking about that to myself before I was actually put up on the marathon page and just kind of practicing commentating. I was talking about like, well, you can't do it every time, because if you do it every time, then you're cheating. So if you can't do it once, that means you're legit. And not cheating. You gotta do something wrong. Otherwise people can consider you cheating.
Yeah, I mean,
that's not completely true either, but I just thought that was an interesting way to think. Alright, now we're on to the water level that is fun.
Yes.
A fun water level. With a Luigi only skip.
Luigi only skip, eh?
Restream buffers? No, that's me dropping frames. Don't worry. Yeah, so I don't think there's not too many skips that are just only Luigi specific. But this is the only one that actually comes to mind. And the only reason
sorry, go on.
The only reason is because Luigi has that extra height.
Yeah. Anyway, Hexa, I can set up I'll set after this stream, after this run, I can set up a YouTube account unless we already have one, and we'll archive the streams, and then we'll have the archive streams and put them on the YouTube channel. And like I said, unless we've already got one set up, I'll happily take care of that as well as a Twitter.
Okay, so this level is hard, kind of. The beginning is hard, the water part, because not only do you have to go deep in, so what happens here is you go deep enough into the water so that the underwater bullet bill, I think Torpedo Ted, spawns. And for whatever reason, he spawns after you get to a certain depth, not even if you're in front of him. So I have to do that, and then if you don't keep him on your screen, he'll despawn. And that's very annoying, because the last thing you want is you bring him almost all the way to where you need him, and then he despawns. Well, at least I'm happy frame drops are happening at the end of a run.
Yeah, that is true, and you can't have a run like this, this long without dropping a few frames.
Yeah, I made it all the way until like, I made it 2.5 hours into my run. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Alright. Alright, so we're definitely going to be underestimate for this run, which is really good.
Good. Nice.
I'm not
Don't,
quite...
obviously don't speak too soon. That's
No,
fine.
there's... Alright, fine. I'll wait just a little longer.
Yes, you'll wait.
Oops, I forgot how to actually do this star. My bad. Forgot that I'm supposed to actually wait for this bullet bill. Maybe. If you will spawn. Hello? There we go. Do not die. Okay. So I will be caught up with my splits after this next star. So we will finally know exactly how far behind I am.
Okay.
And I'm really excited because I'm going to actually do a new strat that I haven't done in a run before, actually ever. The reason being is that I completely refused to learn this level when I learned this game. And so I was constantly, even though I was top 10 at one point, I still didn't know how to do this one level. And was losing like a minute because I refused to lose it. Or to learn it, I mean. And so here I am, and I finally learned how to do the level.
Nice.
So hopefully I can pull it off and actually look decent. Assuming that I don't drop frames.
Yeah.
Which it looks like I might be right now. Hoping for the best.
Let's all pray.
See, this level wasn't even a pain to learn. It took me 5 minutes to learn this. I was just so against learning it. Okay. We swerve back, hit this guy. Alright, good enough.
Is there any links
Alright.
working for me?
We did it better than I did in most of my practice.
Nice. Good job.
Thank you. Alright.
Dropping frames.
Alright, so we are only... We're less than 5 minutes behind. And if you remember,
Nice.
back when I was actually still comparing, I was a little under 4 minutes behind. So that's honestly not that bad. I'm pretty happy with that.
Should be. That's good.
Alright, and then back to Honey Hive, where this entire run began, pretty much. With the hardest skip in the game, maybe.
Oh yeah.
We got one last visit there.
Okay.
We gotta go rescue ourselves from a bug.
Okay.
No! That was dumb. I hate small things like that, like...
Yeah.
It's super simple, but then you mess it up, and then you're like, well, that was really embarrassing. Like, not even necessarily embarrassing in front of other people, like, you embarrass yourself
general,
to
yeah.
yourself. Alright, we lost a good 20 seconds there.
Not good.
I don't even know why. But, whatever. That's okay. We will still be underestimate. Probably. As long as I don't mess up this last level. Alright, we got about a minute of cutscenes here, so this is time where you get up and relax.
Oh boy. Nice.
I've done it in one of my, like, PBs. It was a while ago, before my most recent one. I physically got up from my chair and then changed my clothes and then came back.
Oh.
This cutscene's like a minute long, but I thought it was funny. I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna go change my clothes just because I can," and then I did, and then I felt funny, and then I still PB'd. So. Don't choke. I just gotta not lose time.
Yep.
Or not lose a lot of time. And I should be able to be underestimate.
Go, Luigi.
Don't choke going to school now?
This is your school. What are you on about?
Yeah, we taught you some science, some math, and some history. What else do you need?
Yeah.
English? I can't do that.
I mean, we're speaking English, doesn't
Yeah,
that help?
yeah, it's close enough.
Close enough.
Oh, you want English? Hold on. Bam. There's some English for you. Alright, hold on. Gotta actually play the game now.
Yep.
Alright. Maybe do some cool movement. I don't generally do this because I usually mess it up. But we didn't mess it up, so we're okay.
Nice job.
Oh, that was almost gonna be fast, but I'm not good. Ah. Alright, so basically this is the gauntlet. You kind of go planet to planet, kind of fitting the themes of what you already went through throughout the game.
Yeah.
So like the first one was just general gravity, the second one was fire, this third one's ice, fourth is deadly sand, which thankfully we don't deal with in any percent. Fifth is these platforms that exist. I don't really know how to explain it. They just exist.
Yeah.
No, don't die, don't die, don't die, don't die.
Oh no.
I might die. No, I didn't.
Oh dear.
We're good. That's how this ending of the game works every time.
Okay.
Oh jeez. It's okay. We're fine. We'll be fine. It's closer than you'd always hope it would be. Or like, you don't want it to be very close to dying, but then you always end up like on the brink of death every time you're here.
Yeah.
Just something happens. Oops. Okay. That worked. Alright, we didn't choke.
Nice job.
And generally that long hallway at the end is where you choke, so we're good.
Okay.
Oh, hi Panther, thank you. I didn't see you there. Balu would be done by now. That is true. He would have absolutely been done by now. I would have been done by now if we were comparing me to past me. Alright, here's the true final boss, the stairs.
The stairs.
Stairs are hard. I can't do stairs. Stairs are so hard. I forgot how I was told to optimally go up those stairs, but it's actually difficult. Off to work now, you guys have a good stream, good luck in runs. We will try our best.
Yeah.
Alright, here we are. First phase of the fight, Bowser turns into a rock.
No. Nice.
Like, it's kind of like those boulders with the red spots we've seen a couple times in this game.
Yeah.
Except that the red spot is his face. And you just hit that. So first phase is super easy, that's all it is. Go up the stairs with long... Oh, I've seen that done. Second phase is supposed to be hard, but you kind of cheese it by using these green plants when you're not supposed to. And completely skip all of his phases in phase 2.
Oh wow.
Phase 3 is more difficult. We got that weird planet with the blue spots on it like we had back in Bowser 2. Oops. Okay. I almost forgot how to do this level. So the sequence break here is he does 5 shock rings there, and then generally he'd go around into spike ball, and it's completely unavoidable. But if you get hit by that 5th shock ring as he's in the spike ball, he goes out of it and then goes to his next phase. And it's basically the same concept here, except that you get hit by a fireball instead.
You'd think he'd learn from his mistakes, but clearly not.
I know, he just uses the same materials. Alright, and I can 100% confirm I'm under the estimate.
Oh, nice job.
The timer isn't quite yet. The timer is going to be right when I hit the grand star.
Okay.
I will say time then as well, but I'm really happy that I did not mess up this final level. I did not choke
you did
underestimate.
really good.
And that was my goal. I wanted underestimate, and here I am. That was only about 5 minutes over PB.
Yeah.
And time. Hey, I golded it too.
Yeah. Nice job. Alright.
Which
that
did I
was
gold
an
it by?
amazing one.
No!
Well done.
I canceled the split. Oops. I didn't mean to. Whatever. That's for run.
Yeah. That was a very interesting one.
I'm
Never
happy with
before
my time.
have I seen a Super Mario Galaxy one. This is my very first one, and yeah, it was quite pleasant.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Yep, underestimate was what I was going for.
Yep.
Well, that was fun. I need to
was
do more
fun.
Galaxy runs.
Yeah.
I'm just busy with everything else. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So to get back to the story of the game real quick, this cutscene's Bowser's plans completely just breaking,
Yeah, pretty much.
and his
Like every
planet's
Mario game.
I know, but like his planet's all fire now. It's kind of
Yeah.
exploding. He's standing there. He's kind of like blah, 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 blah. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then the strangest part is after this. Maybe in like 15 seconds. It's just so... It really confused me as a kid. So earlier we were talking about black holes and everything like that.
Oh yeah.
His center of the universe implodes on itself, makes a black hole, sucks all of the universe into it, and then makes another Big Bang.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yep. So that's what we're seeing here. But I know that the marathon has to continue, so
Yeah.
thank you for having me. I hope the rest of the marathon goes well. It was great to run the game here.
Yeah.
And let's have some good runs. Good luck to the
Alright.
rest of the runners.
I've been Fox Gator, the best commentator.
Great job, Artemis, on the Super Mario Galaxy run. Up next, we have PK Frenchie64 with Pac-Man World